All right. If you've ever wanted to know, for fuck's sake, look at her camera. The second we
Why
start
did
the
you do
live,
that?
she goes vertical. She's going to kind of mess around with it. If not, it's not a big, I wouldn't even, there you go. Not sure
There.
what's
I
going
don't
on.
know what is going on with it. It's like when you did something, it changed my camera.
It's
There.
letting us know that this is how the show's going to go. If it does that later on, don't worry about it.
My
So,
life.
so we are here tonight talking with our friend Stacey. We've known Stacey for probably a good 25 years or so. And just a brief setup as to how Stacey and I kind of interact. We can go years probably not interact at all, and then either I'll receive a text message from Stacey or vice versa, something completely inappropriate and funny, usually making fun of something, and we pick up right where we left off. But tonight, Stacey, you are here, and thank you very much, to talk about what it's like dating in your 50s, the lay of the land. And I had to get you on a live this week because I simply have too many questions to ask you about the text messages that you're sending to me this past week of the profiles of the people that you're kind of, I guess, either matching up with or they're presenting to you. My question to you, just to kick this off, okay? Are you sending me profiles because these are what is out there? Or are the profiles that you're sending me, you're kind of scouring and sending me ones that are just funny that you know will make me laugh?
No, these aren't men that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Believe me. This is what is out there. This is what the app is giving me. And these are also men that are approaching me on this app.
So, all right. So I want to read you, and just for safety concerns, okay? We are not going to be listing and posting up actual like profiles and pictures and stuff like that because Stacey and I, we live in the Missouri, St. Louis metro kind of area or whatever. And I think that you're out there, the states that are involved are like Illinois. I don't, but look, we're being smart about this also. But I do want to read one of the profiles that you sent to me and explain this, okay?
Okay.
Friendship and dating first with a possibility a LTR. What is LTR?
Long-term relationship.
Okay. Okay,
It
that
took me a
sounds
minute to figure that one out too. I was like, what is he wanting?
okay. So LTR with the right one, not rushing, but this all starts with a new friend. And I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Stacey, this sounds pretty good. This isn't what you've been sending me. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe this guy is a possibility. So we go to the next paragraph. No weed heads, no hoes. Seeking a traditional woman, no longer going with the flow and allowing boll weevils. And I'm like, is this?
See, he just cut me out of there, when he said no hoes and no weed heads and no boll weevils. I'm out of there.
But I look at that and I take that as a joke. And you're telling me this is kind of the average, like this is what you're seeing,
These are
or
men in our age range. Yes.
that are
What
talking
does
like
his
this.
what does his age say?
I just screen capped just the bio. I mean, he's probably
Okay.
52, 54 or
Yeah,
something, I
probably
think.
50s. Yes. Yes, that's what we're getting. So I find myself then opening up, to see more information and what's the education, you know, and I hate to say, because there are decent men out there that have only had a high school diploma,
Yeah, no, I
but
agree.
I look at that when someone is talking like this to women.
But how many of the profiles have you sent me that have bios that are not only in line with that, but they're, to me, they seem very aggressive. Now I'm coming at it. I am I am a married friend of Stacey's who finds great entertainment out of all this, but I really want you to find somebody that makes you happy. And you are, I mean, like I told you before we came on, of all the people I've encountered and met in my life, and Stacey and I met, like I came right out of school to this leasing company that Stacey and I used to work at. And I think maybe we started at the same time ish or something. But
Yeah, that was actually like 27 years ago.
I gravitated towards you because th- like that, your sense of humor, I was like, oh my God, I just understood like who you were. And then I think vice versa, you kind of understood me a little bit as far as the way we're thinking. We made fun of the same people we worked with. And um I just I don't see any, to be honest with you, any of these profiles. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, and that's why dating apps are so hard for me because I can be judgmental when I'm just looking at, someone's profile and pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be nitpicky. I'm the editor looking at every little thing that they're writing like, "Oh, they missed this, they missed that." And then I'm looking at their pictures, judging them. I do better when I meet somebody in person and I get
Yeah.
that vibe and I learn their personality. That's so much better for me. So this whole dating app thing is so hard for me.
I think from what I've heard from other people, and then I also follow a lot of people on social media accounts that have like dating accounts, dating channels or whatever,
Hmm.
talking about dating in their 40s and 50s. And what I hear from you is very consistent among the other women that I kind of, because I find it really fascinating and interesting. And I think most married people, our lives are so boring anyways. You like, if Stacey and I were to work together and I were to come in on a Monday, what story do I have to tell Stacey that's interesting other than, oh, for fuck's sake, Amy loaded the dishwasher wrong again. We got in a big fight about it. But then, that's not interesting. But then I'm like, oh my God, Stacey, did you go on dates? And you like, oh, you got to hear this one. And that's just, it's interesting
Yeah,
for
we had
your married
conversation. Remember the
friends.
baby arms we used to talk about?
The baby arms and a Pringles can.
Those were the good old days, let me tell you.
I remember going to your cube one day. I still remember this conversation, and you were talking about, I don't know if it was somebody that you were dating or seeing or hoping to date, somebody that had a baby's arm and a Pringles can. And I was like, who talks like this? But this is fascinating.
Yes, I went out with him.
And I'm thinking, so that kind of shows you the type of humor, the type of conversation Stacey and I have when we're together. But that also goes to why this is so interesting and fascinating for me as a married person, because it's like watching an HBO show with you. And I don't mean to laugh, and I think you understand. I'm not
Oh,
laughing at your
please laugh.
situation,
Please laugh. I don't want to be the only one laughing.
but
That's why I send you all this stuff because I know you will get it. I'm like, he's going to die when he sees this.
that was my big question at the beginning is, are you just sending me the ones that are just super funny, or is this really it? This is what you have to pick from. And if that's the case,
There's not much more to pick from. And I'll think they're okay. And then they throw in the picture where they're cuddled up in bed, just waiting for somebody to take care of them. And it's like, we don't want to see that. That's not the first thing we want to see when we're looking at a dating profile. I don't want to see naked bodies,
and you've sent
them
me a
laying
lot
in
of
bed.
you've sent me over 30-40% are guys that have their shirt off, right?
Yep.
Guys laying in bed with their shirt off.
Hmm. Oh, and they love the hotel room, the hotel bathroom pictures.
I was going to
Love
ask you about
those.
that. What is the deal with that? There was a lot that had the guys that were taking pictures in the hotel, and when I see that, what I think is this is a married guy
That's the
who
same thing I think.
who has a weekend away from the wife, and he's meeting his side chick, and he feels like he looks good, so he's going to go ahead and take that picture for the dating profile. That's what I think when I see
That's
those.
exactly where, and probably all the other women too. That's where our minds go. And if a man takes a picture in a bathroom, we're looking in the back for a pink razor, you know, for Biolage and Redken shampoo and conditioner. We're looking for all of that.
What do you think? Now, I also want to kind of try to help out the guys tonight, like represent the guys too, because not like the women are perfect or anything, but
Oh no, we're not. We are not.
what do you think the issue is with the profiles and what you're seeing with the pictures, what they write in their profiles? Because you said it earlier that just because they don't have like a degree or something, it doesn't mean anything. They could be a
Nope, does
super
not
nice
mean
person,
anything.
somebody that you can match up with. But why are you seeing all this on the dating apps and the profiles that are just literally cringeworthy?
I don't know. I mean, I've been out of the game. I was out of the game for almost 20 years, so I don't know what has happened.
And were you excited to get back into it or no?
No, no, I wasn't.
Because if you
I
ask,
was
look,
terrified.
if
I
you
would go
ask,
on and then
yeah,
I'd
no,
jump off, then I'd get back on, and then something crazy would happen because we have to worry about scams too.
yeah,
So I met this one guy last year. I jumped on a dating app. Thought the guy was so great. He was a doctor and had the pictures on there. And then he started asking me all these questions in the chat, of what's your favorite color and what,
okay,
how many brothers and sisters do you have? And just asking me all of these questions.
okay,
And then I got scared because I was like, oh no, I talked too much. I told him too much stuff. So then I had to go crazy on him to make him
mm,
think that I was literally crazy so he wouldn't try to scam me. And what tipped me off was that he said that he cannot do FaceTime because his phone is issued by the government and he can't get calls on the weekends. Well, yeah, because you're not at work in front of that computer on the weekend.
right.
So now, I'm very leery of a lot. If the guy is too good looking and has too good of a job, I'm like, why is he on a dating app?
See, the underlying problem I think you have as a woman, as a female, and I mean, and we get serious here sometimes too, is you're putting your life on the line. Like you actually have to worry about somebody cutting you up and disposing of you. And we're not joking, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's something to where you don't know if you can put out so much information and really put that guard down and let people kind of get to know you, because in the end we all watch the same Dateline shows, right?
Right.
We all know that when you go out on a date now, you're probably telling somebody who you're going out with, where you're going, when to expect you, something, just so that
Oh
somebody
yeah,
knows
you,
that you're
you're
going to be
dropping a
missing.
pin. You're dropping a pin, letting everybody know this is where I'm going to be if you don't hear back from me. I mean, it is scary.
Do you think guys know that? Like, do they take that into account? Be like, look, hey, I know, you know what? Let's go with what you're comfortable with. Or like, do you ever find that out with some of the people that you come
I don't
across, or
know.
no?
See, a lot of the men don't even ask you on a date. Like I have like 20 to 30 different messages in the dating app, and not
Yeah.
one has asked me out on a date.
Why? Like,
I have no clue. I
what's the
don't know
thought
if they
process
just
there?
want somebody to talk to or just to see who they can catch. I don't know. Or they're waiting for us to ask them on a date. I have no clue what it is, but the good mornings are endless. I'm having a great morning according to all these guys
Are
sending it my way. Good morning, beautiful.
I was just gonna say, I was like, is it the good morning beautiful thing that
Oh,
you
yes,
hear
I'm
so many
so
times? You're like, oh my
beautiful.
god,
So beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm honest. I'm an honest person. My bio is honest, probably too honest. And when I do talk to people, I just talk to them like I've known them forever.
right?
That's just kind of how I am. Yeah, it's crazy. And like every other day, I'm like, I'm just going to get off of this thing. I'm just going to be single for life and get another dog.
Were so you were in a long-term relationship for how long?
18 years.
18 years. Okay. And from a guy's point of view, and I kind of asked you earlier, but I kind of want to get down into it a little bit with other dads, guys that I know that are in their 40s, and you start seeing them working out all of a sudden. I mean, something's up, right? And after being in a long-term relationship, a lot of these guys are like, "Oh, finally free to get out there and, I'm going after every 18 to 24-year-old that's out there." And they're like
Yeah.
45, 50 years old or something. But there's that excitement. They're like, "Oh man, I can't wait just to." Yeah, it's like going to a super Walmart or something and
Yeah.
having like
And go
a
for it. I
spending
tell
spree and
them,
go for
go
it.
for it.
Did you not have that after or at some point now to where you're like, you know what, I can go out there and like it's kind of exciting and
There's really not anything out there. And I don't know if it's the St. Louis area, but there's not really much out there. Like I've been asking my male friends, I would ask them, they're married, like you are. Hey, do you have any single friends? No, they're all married.
yeah,
So any guy that's decent, is staying inside, is and a lot of men just aren't really approaching women like that anymore. And I guess at this age, do you really want the guy, coming up to you and hitting on you? I mean, sometimes, yeah, I would like that.
yeah, but you know what? I mean, and you're almost making it sound like they're either a little too passive about it or they're afraid to ask you out. But the profiles that you send me, these guys for me almost, at least from their profile, look like they're overly aggressive in the profile.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the profile they can say all of this because they think, well, I'll just keep this on Facebook and nothing will ever
Yeah.
happen. So I have no clue. Brian, you help me out. You're a male. You tell me.
I so I was debating over the last couple days because I was trying to put my head. I was trying to like pretend like I'm a best friend with one of these guys, and they're going out there on the dating apps or whatever, and I was like, what is the deal? Why are these profiles so bad? Why are the pictures not only not good pictures, not because I'm a photographer and I have these higher standards. I mean, I think the average person, when you're looking at these photos that these guys are taking and posting, they're not in focus, there's not good lighting. They're, like you said, their shirts off, their pictures from 20, 25, 30 years
They're
ago.
from here down. Did I
And
send you the one where the guy had like three on there that he had no head?
you, you've sent me so many that I'm like, my God, it looked like Game of Thrones or the orcs from one of those shows. And I'm like, and I'm not making fun of my guys, but I'm like, when they are taking these pictures to put on their profiles, why, like, how are they seeing the photos that they're taking? They're like, man, that's a good, I'm going to put that on there because I don't think they would do that for their work resumes. Like, I don't think they're putting enough effort and showing that they're really wanting to do this.
Right. Right.
Fancy
And then when they're
Dollhouse
too
just joined us
professional,
here.
though,
Hold on. Fancy Dollhouse. The profiles are horrible, which then scares off the women. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
yes,
You know
this is
Fancy
my
Dollhouse?
yes, that's my best friend.
Oh,
And she's actually very good at taking pictures and posing people. And she would love to teach these men what they need to do.
well, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I think every guy, and I'm just going to speak for the guys, every guy that's on these apps, you have to have two people you run anything by before you put it up there on your account. One is a single person who's your best friend or whatever that understands the lifestyle. And two,
Mhm.
you have to find a married friend. And you have, because the married friend is going to be the one that's very boring and grounded and like thinking about other things than the whole, getting some for the night or something.
Yeah.
They're gonna so you got to run the photos, you got to run the bio. I mean, the stuff that you were showing, I'm like, either these guys aren't taking this seriously, or they're just, maybe they are good guys, but they're just terrible at marketing. Like maybe they just don't know what a bad photo is, or maybe they don't
Yeah.
know
And
that listening to these aggressive alpha male podcasts that are out there, which they're all over the place, that they're like, I have to be the one to where I'm the one that sets the tone, and you've got to be that traditional wife. Don't be so, don't be talking too big, don't put yourself out there, to where you almost feel like you're dealing with like little boys or something.
yeah. Yeah, I think they are. But they can pick, that they just want something casual. They don't have to put long-term relationship. They don't even have to put dating. They can just put friendship. So if you don't want all of that, don't put it on there. Don't
But
attempt to even try to get that.
but are these just awkward men, or do you think that these are just the type of men that are there, that's who they are, and it's up to you to be like, look, I need to change what I'm into, or you're gonna just go get that cat and go to the antique mall for the weekend and buy some, used china somewhere, and just and be happy that way. You know what I'm
A typical weekend for me, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if a lot of these guys, and so the one that I'm on currently is Facebook. I found out that Facebook has the dating app. So I was bored one night and
right?
threw my, stuff on there, and I was like, okay, I think I'm finally ready, let me talk to some guys. And so just started chatting, and then now it's almost like a game
But do
of
you go into
who
that?
what's his profile.
Do you go into that when you make that decision that you, okay, I'm bored. Let's go into Facebook. Let's do the Facebook dating thing. Is there an excitement or is there dread? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's almost dread for me. But like I have I'm perimenopausal, so I'm at that stage where some days I want to have somebody to watch, two whole seasons of a show with, and we could watch it together and talk about it and we just binge it because I love doing that type of stuff.
Sure.
Then the next day I'm like, I don't want anybody near me. So I don't even know what I want, but I think I would know it if I saw him, and I'm not seeing him on these apps
There is
because
not
so
one.
many of them, Brian, so many of them, they don't tell you who they are. They
Yeah.
tell you what they want and don't want.
Haley Jennings, love this conversation. Dating is so hard. Well, that's what I'm finding out from Stacey, and that's why
Yes.
I'm
So
so entertained.
if you and Amy ever, have a fight, do not ever divorce, please. Just
Oh,
another room, put a bed in it, sleep in it for a while, but stay together forever because it's horrible.
fighting for us is just part of the relationship too. For Amy and I mean, I am a very difficult person to be with. I mean, I think I'm a nice guy in the end, but I'm very picky about everything. I'm not narcissistic, but I probably am. And there's probably only one person in this world that knows how to handle me correctly, and that's my wife Amy, who is like the sweetest person. Everybody likes her. She's super friendly. She's way too outgoing and extroverted, but she's the almost the opposite of me, and she's the only person that knows how to handle me. So I would be like, I would call it quits. Like I wouldn't even go through this. There's no way.
Yeah, you would have to just you're in a room, a studio apartment by yourself till you die, you know. Yeah.
So
So You and
what I
Amy for life.
what I want to pitch to you, and I don't know if you have people that try to give you pointers or whatever. I'm not trying to do that. I really am trying to give you some ideas because I think it might help. And just this is just from what I see on social media, from all the other accounts that I see of ladies that are in their 40s and 50s. They have these dating profile accounts to where it's just, whether it's mostly on TikTok, to where they talk about their dating stories, they talk about their struggles, they talk about things that they like, they enjoy, they talk about things that they don't like. I think I sent you a couple accounts. I think you probably follow a few of those or you've come
Mm-hmm.
across those. I think something like that would benefit you more than these dating apps, because the dating apps are so narrow in who they pull in, and you're relying on people being good enough to basically, it's almost like we all have to be good on a resume, right? Like not all of us are great at making a resume to go get a job. Not all these guys that are out there are good enough to make a profile page that makes them look attractive. But if they had their own TikTok channel of just their dating life, talking about dating stories, talk about the cringe moments, but talk about things that you're looking for. I think it gives other
But I'd
people
have
the,
to go out on dates, and I can't find anybody to go out on dates with.
but you're talking about that. That's what I'm saying. Everything everything that you struggle with or everything that you're frustrated with or whatever, you talk about that situation. And I think it's very similar to how I'm trying to build up my channels. And I'm trying to find people that relate to my sense of humor, that like how I present things. Not that I do, like, of the 5 channels that I have, like one of them's a DIY channel. I'm not trying to track people that all they want to do is fix things. I'm trying to find people that get my sense of humor, but in the DIY world, right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I think people, when they are exposed to Stacey more than just what your profile is trying to kind of sell or market. I mean, I keep going back to, I've known you 25, 27 years. And of all the people I've kind of worked with or whatever, I've had the most fun with Stacey. I have laughed so hard with Stacey. I have told people, like, I consider myself probably the funniest person in the room in a very different, strange way, right? I will concede that Stacey is probably funnier than I am. But I think, here's okay. So aside from me wanting to convince you tonight to start your own channel, okay, do you find, and be honest with me, do you find that guys have a hard time with you being funny?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Like, do you find yourself that you're kind of the real Stacey around other guys, or like when you're in a
Yeah,
dating?
I am. Maybe I'm too much of the real Stacey. And they put me in a friend zone automatically.
I
I mean,
think
I have 5 older brothers, extremely sarcastic. So that's kind of where my humor comes from. Um, I was ridiculed my whole life growing up, and we know about the purple sweater picture that Tone always talks about.
sure,
Um, so, uh, yeah, I
but
don't
our
know.
defense mechanism and our offense is all about a sense of humor, and I get it.
Yes.
I'm the same way too. I feel that as a guy, I'm around guys a lot. I see the social media accounts. I hear what guys are talking about. Guys have issues with women twofold. One, you can't be smarter than us. We can't be with women in general. I'm just saying, in general. Guys have a hard time with being with women that are smarter than them. And two, and this may be even bigger, is I think guys have a hard time being around women that are funnier than them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm looking for a man that's smarter than I am, which is pretty hard. But just playing. But I do. I want that man, that can teach me something and gets my jokes.
But that's, see, but that's a hard thing, because your level of humor, I mean, you and I can get down in the gutter with humor too, right? We're very much, a multi-tooled comedians between you and I. But a lot of your humor also, there's times to where you and I are making fun of somebody standing next to us, whether it's a guy named Jerry or a guy named Pat or whoever, Bobby or Jonathan. I'm just throwing out names. These aren't names that anybody knows. And they have no idea we're making fun of them. And we're not doing it because we have ill intent or because we're mean or mean hard or anything like that. But we do it because it's funny. And I think you can get
Hmm.
away with it only as long as you're funny about it. But sometimes, I mean, you do have humor that is like, I think some people, it might be a little too high for them. I don't
So
know.
do you think I'm intimidating?
Yes.
My kids have said that before.
I think you're, I think you're intimidating in a sense that a weak man will have a hard time letting you shine. You know what I'm saying? I think a very self confident man or woman. We may get into that area tonight too. Who
Hey,
knows?
I've had some, some profiles hit me up. So
I think you would do really well. I think a lot of us would with somebody that is self confident, that
yes,
has a high level of self confidence,
yes.
that can let you shine, that can let you be the smartest person in the room, that can let you be the funniest person in the room, that can let you be the wittiest person in the room. It's
I
hard
mean,
for a lot of guys to do that though.
the guy that's with me is going to have constant entertainment. I mean, it's going to be an SNL skit whenever he wants it. Now, I can get serious and I can be quiet, but also I'm going to throw that little bit of goof in there as well.
Yeah, but a
It's going
lot
to
of
be
guys want to be the
entertaining.
center of attention
Yeah, no.
over you. Even though they might be introverted or whatever, it's hard to let your girl, it's hard to let your partner be the one to shine. That's what I'm saying. You need somebody that's super confident in themselves to be like, fuck, you got me on that one. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I want is somebody to laugh with and laugh at my jokes. If I'm funny, laugh at it. Don't hold that laughter in, because you didn't come up with the joke. Laugh at it because I'm going to laugh at yours. If you're saying something funny, I'm laughing at it.
But that's okay. So here's where we get back to where I think you having your own dating account, and you can have your own private account also, to where it's just for your friends, what you have set up, but you have a specific Stacey dating TikTok account, and you talk about this. I mean, you talk about the struggles, you talk about the things that you worry about, you talk about the things that you want to see in a guy, and I think over time, by you getting out there and showing this, you're going to find your people out there. You're going to find not only other women that understand what you're going through, but you're going to find other guys that understand what you're going through also, but appreciate what you're talking about. And it's going to be a bigger pool of people to connect with, as opposed to Facebook Marketplace or whatever that's called. I don't even sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. That shows you how much I I value my safety.
How did you know I was selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace?
Like I won't even touch Facebook Marketplace, and you're on the Facebook Marketplace for dating.
Right. Yeah, and it's basically just like Facebook Marketplace. People message you, is it still available? And that's all you get. You get no other response. When you say, yes, it is, would you like to purchase it? Nothing. Yeah, it's all, you know what? You just pinned that. Facebook is all the same across all of their little platforms.
And
It's all
is
marketplace.
that free?
Yes.
Okay. Are there other sites that you are on that you pay for, and are they better?
Yes. Yes. And they're just as bad. I thought I'm going to go to farmersonly.com. I'll get a good man,
What is
got a
that?
few horses and some land.
Is there
No,
literally a farmers only or
there
something?
is. There is a farmersonly.com.
And
Nothing. Guy, first date or first time chatting with me, it went straight to sex. I have no problem with sex, but not on the first time I'm talking to you.
yeah. So what do you think about this idea of having a? Do you at least understand where I'm trying to come from? Where I
Yeah, I
think this
do.
could
I do.
help.
I've seen women that do that. Yeah, it's funny. But as outgoing as I seem, I'm still a little introverted,
But
or
you're
actually
not.
a lot introverted.
Nobody's more introverted than I am. I've got 5 fucking YouTube channels. I've been on TikTok. I've been on Instagram. That's the great thing about being in control, like what we do here, is it's on my. It's I'm in control of everything, right?
Maybe I need to get a little setup like you have once I get the mic and get all that stuff and start
You're
playing around
overthinking.
with it.
You're over none of the people that I watch and follow, none of those girls have a setup. Like the girl that I was telling you about, I think she's 52 or something, and she was talking about this date of the guy that she went on a date with. She loved him. She was like, "Oh my god, he looks great. He's got a good background." We went out to eat, came back to her apartment. She was like, she was a little nervous about coming back to the apartment because he's got a really nice house. She's got a small little apartment. She's just at her kitchen nook doing a little TikTok talking about it, right? So there's no studio.
Yeah.
And she was like, everything's going great. And then we get back, he gets on the couch. I'm in the kitchen fixing us some drinks, and he takes his socks and shoes off. And she goes, the second I saw his bare feet, she goes, it was over and done with. And you know where this is going. So, but she's talking about it. And yes, she got people in the comments like, oh my God, that's so shallow. I can't believe it. He was just being comfortable. He felt comfortable. But you know what? It's something that did bother her.
Yeah.
And so she can talk about it. Well, then there's other people that were in the comments that were like, you know what? I get it. I understand that. There were guys that were like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that when I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I don't know. Let me think about it.
Teresa Collins, it's extremely difficult to date in your 50s because most men are already attached to someone else.
Yes. And that is another thing. They are attached, even if they're not physically still with that person, they're still mentally with that last person.
And that's exclusive to men mostly that are on the dating as opposed to the women that are out there.
I don't know. I don't know. I think men probably jump out there faster than women do after a relationship.
And I
It
think
took
sex I
me,
think sex drives that for most of the guys.
yeah, it took me a while to get out there. I mean, it's been over 3 years since I was in a relationship. And still I'm like, ooh, not so sure about this.
But is it something that you're looking for somebody because you want to spend time with them kind of on a day in day out basis? You just want to have fun? Are you looking to replace a long-term relationship for you personally?
And that's what I go back and forth with, depending on my hormones. Um,
Yeah, that's fine.
I some days I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be so nice to have somebody, I could cook for them because I love to cook.
Sure.
I love to do things for people. So it's that whole I miss that, giving a massage, cooking, doing that type of stuff. But then there's days I'm like, I don't have to wash those dishes. I don't
Right.
have to shave these legs.
Right.
Ankle only, because nobody's gonna see them. So I go back and forth. But I also know that if I do meet that right person,
Right.
I'll have no problem doing all of that. And I'll want to spend all of my time with them because I want that person that's going to be my best friend,
Right.
that we can just do everything together and just have fun, especially at this point in my life. And I don't even know if I want it to be marriage.
Right.
Um, when I was young, I never wanted to get married at all. And then I
Sure.
went through a phase where, yes, I do want to be married. But now I'm back in that phase of I don't even know if I need marriage at this point. I just basically want someone who wants to be with me.
And my question is, how do you find that person based off of just a brief profile that
It's so hard. It is so hard.
and giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they can't put together a good profile. See, that's the thing that I would worry about also. Like some of these guys that you sent me, there was a few, and I at one point I was on the couch, right? And I was probably laughing too hard at some of them, and I'm sorry about that, but I was laughing kind of hard. And Amy's like, "What?" I was like, "Stacey sent me some profiles of people that she's matching up with or something." I was like, "Here, take a look at this guy." And there was one that and Amy was like, my wife, Amy, she was like, "Oh, that one's, what's wrong with that one?" And I said, "Well," and she was looking at the picture, right? I was like, "But then read what he's, okay." So it's almost like you can't really have your cake and eat it too. You can find a guy that looks good in his pictures. You read the bio, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is a this is like one of those super alpha guy. Like, there's no way you're gonna have a good time with this person." But he
Right.
looks good. He's got muscles. All these guys that you sent me that are standing in their wife beater t-shirts next to like 6 or 7 cars, which I'm like, why are you you're posting, are you posting to find like other guys to hang out with, to do car stuff with, or are you looking for a mature woman?
Right. I think they're putting out, this is what I have. I have these cars. One guy said, I have a job, I have two cars, I have this, I have that, almost like they're trying to sell themselves to the woman.
But why? And so this is where I go back to, he needs to have two people to run this by: a best friend that is single and then a best friend that is married, to the
Or
point to
even
where
his
it's like,
daughter, have
or
your
yes,
daughter look at
true,
it.
yes.
She's going to tell you the truth and tell you what a woman is not going to go for.
But a lot of times they can't go to the daughter because the daughter is assuming that he's still married to mom. So he's got to balance while he's married, but he's also on the dating sites. I mean, is
Well, there was
we
one
joke about,
one guy. Now, did I send you this one guy who had a woman, but she was sick? So he was looking for something on the side.
you sent me something where the guy looked like he was sick.
He
You remember that one? He's in
was on his
bed.
deathbed. The
He
one guy
looked
looked like he
like,
was on his deathbed. Yes, he
it
was,
looked like a
you
make a
know.
wish. It looked like a make a wish thing or something.
Yes. I
And
thought it
I'm
was a
like,
GoFundMe for the guy. I didn't know what it was.
and again, Stacey and I are not laughing from an ill-hearted place. But the thing is, you're on a dating site. How do you think that that's the right photo? Like, who are you trying to attract? Run it by a
And
couple
give me a
people.
brief synopsis. Don't tell me everything that you own, and don't show me pictures of everything that you own. I don't want to see the creeper van on the side of the, street that you own. We can get to that. If you're just a normal person, ask a woman out on a date and then get there, at some point.
But if you're putting in the bio as a guy and you're using the word hose, you know what I'm saying? Where
He's
what?
dealt with a lot of hoes in his past, and I don't want to deal with him because he's probably got some hoe following him and stalking him. So I don't want to deal with that.
And then later on, he's talking about he's not into squirrel-minded women. And I'm like, what is that? But who talks like that? What mature guy who's in his 40s and 50s that has a good life? That's, you know what I'm saying? That kind of has things going for him. Who talks like this?
Yeah.
And maybe if you do
Maybe he's
talk like
just as
this,
frustrated with women. So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to put whatever out here, because I'm so tired of these women.
but that's what I'm thinking that they're doing. And I go, why are they even wasting their time doing this then?
Yeah.
There has to be, you have to you have to surround yourself with people that can tell you no. No, don't do that. Take these pictures down. Don't mention hoes. I mean, if you say that with the guys or whatever, or you what, that's a different thing. These are guys that are just putting it right out there, right off
Oh, the
the
one
bat.
one guy said, if I tell you to duck and run, you run. What kind of situation are we going to be in that we have to duck and run? Where are we going? Pink slip, bottoms up. Where are we going?
Which goes to so you're saying that the profiles that you're sending me, that's the average that you're seeing. Like
That is
you're
the
reading through
average.
this.
That's the
You're not.
average. So when I do see somebody that's decent, I feel like it's fake.
Yeah. Well, you sent me one. What was the latest one that you sent me?
The man that had the two pictures with his mother, which I also don't want to see.
Oh boy. I I think that yeah. So Stacey, and I'm looking here at the last message that Stacey sent to me right before we came on the live. And I'm thinking, okay, well, first of all, let's save it all for the show. But the guy that she sends me, he's 44, decent looking guy, and he's sitting there toasting what appears to be his mother with a glass of wine.
And that's the main profile picture. And
But
he ends it with another picture with his mother.
well, and then no guy should be talking about being extra silly. So
Not if he's looking for.
look, maybe he's just looking for guys that want to watch those shows with you. Then maybe that's the guy that you're looking for. You said early on the live here that a lot of days that you just want to lay around and watch a couple seasons
But
of
I also
whatever.
want him to want me to touch him and rub him. I don't know if he wants me to rub
Hey,
him.
we can't have it all. That's like greedy. But that doesn't make any sense. And then I'm scrolling through the photos. Oh yeah, there's no way. This
Right. Told you.
the cowboy hat with the red scarf around.
With the vest and no shirt underneath.
This so okay. So what about can you pair up with somebody that you're not going to be romantically like just as a friend
A companion. I
companion?
would love a companion, but so many guys our age do not want to deal with anything. They don't they want everything on their terms,
The only picture
and
he
they
has
don't want to
here,
even commit to being a companion.
the only picture he's got pictures of a woman, but it's always his mom. So one,
Yeah.
he's on the wrong side anyways. This is
Mm-hmm.
not hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a beard.
Well, I I seriously think, and this is more than it's beyond just the entertainment fascination thing for me. I think you honestly would do so much better if you had a Stacey's life page account. And it takes no effort other than pulling your phone out once a day or something and just make because the ones that I sent you a couple of the people that I thought were that would kind of give you some inspiration to start a channel. There's
Yeah.
times where she's out there talking about something, she's just walking her dog and she does a quick 60-second 90-second something about these are the guys that are responding to her, or she talks about the distance. That's a big thing for her, that
Yes,
she
I get a
doesn't want to
lot of
date.
guys from Chicago, Iowa, Kentucky. That's just it's too far. And even one guy, we actually talked on the phone and he seemed pretty decent. And I said, well, why don't we meet halfway? We can meet in Springfield, Illinois, and just spend the day together. It's only, a 2.5 hour drive for each of us. And then we can go about our way. And he said, nah, that's too far. I'll just send for you.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be stuck at
right,
your house.
right.
So yeah, it's like some of these men don't want to put forth an effort.
The we talked about this one early on. I would I we're not, but I so wish that we could all see the photos. I'm sure you've shown it to your friends or whatever. But
Yes.
the Mr. Potato Head guy, where it looks like the same picture. He looks like a Mr. Potato Head app, and he's got one with the hat on, without the hat on, and I was like, that's the same picture.
Yeah, he started with a hat, sunglasses, and then he took the sunglasses off, just had the hat on, and then he took the hat off after he took the sunglasses off. So he had three pictures, but he was just removing one thing at a time.
And then he has in his bio a quote. Remember like MySpace or something where we all put like a
Yeah.
quote or something that's supposed to sum us up. So the quote he puts on for his profile is cheap merchandise always attracts many customers, so don't be cheap merchandise. And maybe what he's trying to get across. Okay, I get it. But that's where you need somebody to be like, you don't need that on there.
No, no. If you don't like a woman to look a certain way and don't like her to act a certain way, then don't approach her.
Well, but
D-
when I see stuff like that, I flags go up. Like I think that's a controlling man.
yeah, it is. It is. It's him trying to tell women how they should act, how they should look. And then that makes you say, look at him.
Right.
Because
And yeah,
I am not the one to say, ugh, but when you take pictures a certain way and it makes your head look a certain way, that's just not attractive.
but I also want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just aren't good with that. Guys who are in their 50s, Gen X kind of guys, we didn't necessarily grow up with the whole social media type thing, taking selfies and all that stuff, right? So maybe we're not good at taking those good pictures, the right pictures or whatever. But if you're not good with pictures, you at least should put in effort on the bio. And I'm not
Or
saying you
have
have to
someone just
have
take a picture of you.
yeah, somebody that likes you, that thinks that you're a good person. Hey, can you take a picture of me? Somebody that doesn't think that you're like do it. Say, are we saying do it, Stacey, do her channel? Or are we saying do it, Stacey, date this guy that we're talking about? Have we just given
I
up and
am
they're like,
not dating that
Stacey,
guy.
date that guy and then come back and start your channel and then
I
come back
might
and tell
have
us
to
about it.
start dating all these guys that I don't like just to see what they are like.
But I think with your channel, you're getting rid you're using your channel to go through and curate these guys for you. And then you're gonna come across men, and I don't know how long that's gonna take, but over time, you're gonna find your type of people that appreciate the same stuff that you do. And it's just a bigger pool of people as opposed to going to these sites.
Oh, and I've even gone to like the singles events.
Yeah, but
Men don't even talk to you there.
that's a high pressure thing where you're putting people under pressure, uncomfortable. It may not be them. I would be awful at something like that.
Well, I went to one with a couple friends on Valentine's Day this past year, and it was at Ameristar. Walked in, we were late, but like men were just like standing in the shadows, you know,
Oh, so
not
creepy.
trying to come out and talk to anybody. By the end of the night, the women were pouncing on men like they were prey. And they were just going up to every man at the bar, trying to talk him into leaving with them that night. It was insane. So we just basically sat there like it was, us in the office, just watching people and laughing our asses off.
What's more awkward, something like that, or back in high school at a
That was
dance,
more awkward. That was more awkward.
being an adult and
Yes.
going through that?
Yes.
Now, do you think it's nerves, or do you just think that the people that are drawn to these events, maybe the guys that are drawn to these events, are just a little off?
Um, they may be a little off. Us women might also be a little off, but maybe they want to stay single and just like to go and hang out with other single people. I have no clue.
Like, do you ever game plan with other women like yourself?
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Amy and I are watching Game of Thrones right now, right? And
Uh-huh.
they're at the part to where they have to go to the different areas of Westeros to unite the different castles to go battle together. Do you have to go find other women that are kind of single in the same kind of boat that you are, and you guys kind of do this together? Is it a together
Yes.
thing?
Yes. But then you're even more intimidating because you have me and my friends are like me.
Mm.
So we're all together. And a lot of men, especially if it's a single man, he doesn't want to approach a group of women for that fear, that he does get rejected.
Fancy Dollhouse, are you still here? Since you're one of Stacey's besties, I want to ask you something. Let me know if you're still here. Are you seeing the comments when I put them up there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Oh, channel. She's wanting you to start a channel. So, is from your point of view, you know Stacey more than probably most people. Do you consider Stacey to be somewhat intimidating or no? I'm just kind of curious. I just think that we get back to the same problem that a lot of these guys just aren't strong enough inside, you know?
And I think I look intimidating. I do have resting bitch face. But if you talk to me, I'm nice. I'm a nice person.
When I used to work with you, you know what broke me a lot of times when we're kind of just standing there and just look, something goes on. One of the people we work with or starts saying something, they open their mouth. And if I were to make the mistake of looking over at you and just a certain look you were to give, I would lose it. Like I couldn't keep a straight face. I would just lose it.
I
I
have that effect on a lot of people. I have that look that I give. Yeah.
But see that's the thing. It's like I think people would if you had your channel, they would understand how much of a good time that you would have hanging out with you and doing things, and they would understand, yeah, there might be a couple days to where you guys are doing your Hallmark channel stuff or whatever, and then there might be a day to where you want to go out with your friends or by yourself to go to the antique mall and do your own thing and just be left alone.
Hmm.
You have a better opportunity finding those type of people over time because they're able to see you,
Yeah.
they're able to
Yeah, I
read.
am in the house a lot. I'm a homebody.
And it offers you the ability of, even if you don't want to go out, you get your phone out and you do something in regards to whatever you're going through, you're struggling with, anything that pertains to letting them see just a little side of what your personality's like.
Yeah.
And you're going and you'll I think it opens up the pool of people for you as opposed to the ones that are just on Facebook Marketplace or what of okay, so of all the dating sites, I mean, we could probably go on all night or something like that. So we probably have to kind of bring this a little bit to a close. And depending on how much fun we have, and maybe if you decide to do a channel or something, we can come back and uh, do some more questions with you. Is there a site that you have had some success with at all?
No, no. Not since AOL have I had any success.
So it doesn't
The
matter like
AOL chat
how much you're
rooms.
spending.
No, no matter how much I'm spending. And you would think that a lot of these sites would say, hey, we'll give them women a discount
Yeah.
or free. No, they don't even do that.
And like you're,
But
and
the
you,
ones I have paid for some,
right.
and still it's the same men on those sites that you get on the other sites. They're just
And do you feel like
bouncing from site to
you're on
site.
those sites long enough to like are you able to stick through it for a long enough period of time through the ups and the downs to let it work itself out, or will
I
you
don't know.
bail and you quit too quickly?
I have bailed very fast on a lot of them. Um, so I can't remember if it was last year or the year before last. And I was on one that you pay for. And I met this guy, and at first I wasn't going to talk to him. But then I was like, well, he might be nice. So I reached back out to him when I got back on the app and called him, and we ended up talking for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was in my car at a parking lot. I was at Target.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just talking, and it was a good conversation. Well, then he said, well, can I call you later? And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll talk again, and that was it. Well, the next morning, he started texting me, and I didn't get back to him right away. He started going crazy. I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, he was flipping out. Stacey, call me, get a hold of me. Stacey, please, please return my call. And I had to tell him, I said, look, you're
Yeah.
doing too much way too fast, because he was ready after just an hour and a half phone call, was ready to come up here from a whole different state and come see me. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know
Right.
you.
Right.
You're not coming to see me yet. Let's just take it slow. But I think he's just one of those guys that wants love so bad that he's just attaching to the first woman that gives him a chance. And
Do
that's
you
not what I want.
read up on all those kind of attachment
Yeah.
the like just so
Yes.
you can identify the type of guys that are out there
Y-
and you kind of know what you're dealing with? Like, do you read into
Yes.
that?
Even had to learn about myself.
What are
I
you?
learned a lot about myself just being single these past, few
Yeah.
years. I'm like, oh, I'll never do this again. I'll never do that again. A lot of things that I did that I didn't know, were, I was dealing with, things that had happened in my childhood,
Right.
so I had to work through
Yeah.
those issues. And I see these guys have not worked through their issues.
What's the biggest issue you've come across about yourself that you identified and you think you've kind of addressed and maybe fixed it, or at least you're aware of it to where you don't let that be an issue with dating?
Um, exactly what that guy was doing, attaching too fast
Yeah.
and, playing this little scene in your head of what it could be. And so you start to like this guy from what you're thinking that he is,
Right.
not really knowing him. And then you start falling in love too fast. And then you try to make things work that shouldn't be working. So I've learned now to slow down.
Right.
It doesn't have to be rushed, and get to know somebody.
Have you always been slow to attach? I mean, I know you're coming out of a long-term relationship, but personality wise, are you slow to attach yourself to somebody? Are you always super cautious, and
Um,
are you fast, like you like
I
almost kind of like
was
this guy?
I was probably cautious um at one point, and then I reverted to attaching too fast when I shouldn't have. I wasn't reading the signs. If there were issues with the man or with the, even the relationship, I was ignoring them
Right.
because I thought I could fix them and I could fix the man,
Right.
rather than saying, okay, you need to just cut this right here before it goes any further and just move on. It was
Are you
almost like I had to win.
are you good with uh are you good with accepting things that you may not like, or are you a fixer? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something's wrong with there's something about this guy I don't like, but I can fix it or change it
It depends on what it
as you are
is.
now.
Um, I think it depends on what is wrong.
Sure.
Um, and I hate to say it, if I'm attracted to um if I'm attracted to his mind, I have to reel myself back in and say, okay, Stacey, not your problem. You know, just stand back, not your issue. Um, it's hard. It's hard as a woman. Um, that empathy
Yeah.
comes out, and we do want to, a lot of us do want to, help someone.
More than helping yourself? Like, do you feel like you're at a point in your life to where, because being a parent and generally in terms of being just a female, you always put other people first. I don't want to generalize, but I think, I mean, fuck it, it's my show or whatever. I can do whatever I want. But do you feel like you're at a point to where you can focus on yourself and just what you want? What Stacey wants as opposed to accommodating other people, or no?
Yes, yes, I've been doing that more for the past year. Yeah, but it took me a while. When I left that, long-term relationship I was in, I mean, I almost felt like I went through a midlife crisis. I think a lot of it had to do with hormones. I think that is what happens to a lot of relationships at our age. Women, our bodies are changing. I mean, this is going toward a totally different topic, but
It's all intertwined.
it's hard. It is hard to be in a relationship and date at this age as a woman. And I think a lot of men also don't understand what a woman goes through. And that's why a lot of divorce happens.
Mm-hmm.
So then the men are put back out. That could be why men want those 20 something year old women. They don't have to deal with women our age because we're so up and down. Some days I do want to help people. The next day I could care less. But I look out for myself more than I used to.
Without feeling guilty
Definitely.
about it?
No, I do not feel guilty at all.
No, good.
Not at all. Nope. That's one good thing about this age.
Are you up to, like, have you ever been set up on a blind date? A friend or somebody that knows you, like, hey, I've got the perfect person.
Years ago,
And how did that
Fancy
go?
Dollhouse set me up on a date.
Really?
Yes.
And
He called me before it, and when he said he was going to wear a Zilk vest, I was like, done. I'm not going on this date.
what vest?
Zilk,
What's a Zilk vest?
silk.
Oh, silk.
He called it Zilk.
Oh boy. So Fancy Dollhouse. Looking back on this matchup, on this blind date you set Stacey up on, are you shocked that it didn't work out? Did Stacey give it time, or did Stacey hone in on something and you're like, you didn't give him an opportunity or a chance? I'm curious. So we need to have her on also then, if we're
Oh, you
pulling her
do.
into
You do. Yes. She's funny also.
what's her
She's
story?
married.
Okay, well, that's good then. So you got the married bestie.
Uh-huh.
All right. You have a single bestie?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
she's not really single anymore currently at this time. So I'm losing all the good ones.
Hmm. Do you feel like you and Fancy Dollhouse, like, how long have you known her?
Oh, so we met in high school. So we've
Okay.
known each other
So
through
she knows you.
everything.
She
Yes.
knows you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I look, I I think just let it percolate about giving that an opportunity to kind of put yourself out there with a TikTok channel. And at any point you decide I don't want to do this anymore, fuck it, okay, then delete it, stop it. But give it an opportunity, give it some time to kind of put yourself out there and let people get to know your personality, your humor.
I guess I think about it and I'm like, well, I'm not that funny.
But you're thinking of it in terms of entertaining people. think of it more like almost like a confessional type. You're think of it as the third bestie that you're coming to talk to.
I have to get used to talking to myself. Maybe I'll just call Fancy Dollhouse, have her on the phone while I'm talking into the camera.
I think I there are so many people that are out there, and it's a matter of how do they find you? How do you find them? And when you're relying on just the dating, a specific dating app, which I mean, Facebook Marketplace, that has to be a disaster, anyways. But where you're in control of what gets put out there, you're letting people see enough stuff that basically shows them the how Stacey kind of ticks. And you're going to find people, there are so many people out there that are into the same things that you are, that appreciate the same things that you do, that want to do things with you and then want to be left alone when they need to be left alone and appreciate when you need to be left alone. And it's so hard. I got to think it's so hard to find somebody like that based off of how well they do a resume on a site. So, all right, Stacey, I appreciate you doing this. I think you said that you've never done a live or like a
Never.
podcast or
It's
like
my
that
first time.
before. But I mean, like I said earlier, we can go years, not say one thing, and then it's like, boom, very easy. The humor, sense of humor, all that stuff. It's just,
Yeah, I love it. I love it that I could just send you something and you just get it.
I mean, I appreciate as I get older the people we've come across in life that you're just like, you know, on your deathbed or when you're dead and gone and you're writing the chapters in the book and the book close or whatever. Like for me, you were definitely in there. I mean, you were a huge part
Oh,
of a period of time to where I was still this young guy or whatever, but I was still trying to find my way of doing things or whatever. But I came across a personality in you of a person that stands out. You're different. You're unique. You're super like witty, funny. I told you like I wish I could find somebody as a co-host like that. And it's hard. It's hard finding somebody that kind of gets it and understands certain things. And I think if you put yourself out there, your people will find you.
hey, if you do want to co-host, let me know. I'll talk about anything.
Tiny things like mispronunciation of words turn her off. He ended up being a great guy. I tease her to this day. It's like Fancy Dollhouse is on like a 2-minute delay or something. But no, yeah. Look, there's ticks that we all have that just turn us off. And that's why I'm like, I am dead certain if something happens to Amy, you know, and I am out here solo, I'm gonna be in the woods. Like nobody will ever see me ever again. Like I don't even want to mess with it. You know, all these dads that, you know, got to the 40s and 50s, the kids leave or what, they start working out and like, oh fuck, you know. And so they get divorced and they're out there on the prowl and doing the stuff. And, you know, me and another guy, we make fun of those dads too. And I'm like, none of that looks interesting whatsoever at all.
Yeah, it
It's
just looks like
funny.
too much work. It looks like too much work.
It's just I'm way too, maybe I'm too picky, or do you think you're too picky or no?
I am picky.
Okay.
Um, but it's not picky in a way that people would think. You know, like
Yeah.
Renee said, if how somebody pronounces a word,
Yeah.
grammar, you know, that's
See,
I'll
but
cut it
this
off.
is what guys on the podcast are like, you know, oh, making fun of people that, you know, I misspelled things or they capitalize random words. And it's like, look, there's basic things that you're looking for in a person. You shouldn't have to, you're going to have to pick and choose and give and take a little bit, but there's a certain thing that you're like, You got to be able to write something. Maybe a typo here and there is fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an issue, if you're dyslexic, I understand that. But, if you're using a word out of context and you are sure that you're saying it correctly, that's how it's said. That's a turn
What's
off.
where's baby arm guy at? You still have his number? His,
No, I
I remember.
don't.
You know the
I could
lady
see
that we
us
work with.
standing at the cubicles talking about that.
I'll go by her KV. I won't say her name,
Uh-huh.
but I remember having a conversation with her after the baby arm and Pringles conversation, and we were like, "Oh my god!" Like we a baby arm, a Pringles can. Like we had never heard of the terminology, but then I think the idea of just then the visualization, and we're like,
Yes.
and I remember being at her office. See, this is why I mean, I always tell people like I made way too much money for the amount of work that I did at this one place because most of the time was just doing shenanigans like this. But I remember talking about, I was like, I remember that me and KV were like, oh my gosh, this guy that Stacey's talking about, a Pringles can, and then the other one with the baby arm. And it's like, that's crazy. I think KV was actually a little kind of interested.
Yes.
So, all right, Stacey, we're going to bring this to a close. I appreciate you doing this with me for your first time. If you guys have any other, like anybody else that comes across this later on after this is aired live, you have a question for Stacey, put it into the comments, and then I'll try to relay that over to her. And then maybe I'll follow up with Stacey in a week or two just to kind of see maybe she's given it a thought, some thought into starting a channel. Maybe Fancy Dollhouse can push you to doing that after we get done here and help you out with that.
She's
So,
pushed me to do a lot of things.
well, maybe you need to be pushed. Maybe she's the right person to push you to do things. So, all right, Stacey, thank you.
All right.
We'll see you.
Thanks,
Stay
Brian.
on. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. All right, see
Okay.
ya. Thank you, Fancy Dollhouse, for hanging out the whole time.